So I got to 150,000 followers just by making juicing videos. Well, that's how it seemed. And now I'm known as the juicing guy, and people come up to me all the time like, yo, how can I get 150,000 followers? Like, how can I build my base? And I think the better question is, what does it take to get there? Work ethic was instilled in me from a very young age. My aunt worked hard. She had 2-3 jobs, working overnights. I rarely saw her during the summer. And with all these kids in the house, she had to maintain some type of order. So there were so many chores. And she had it so that you had to get these things done before 7 a.m., these things done before 12, these things, like, it was very, very strict. And she would call and check and see if we got those things done. Personally, I hated that strict rigidness. I just wanted to play video games and do, just have fun. I was a kid. But I knew the only way you could get out of doing all these chores was by getting a job. So I went and got this job at Burger King, and it was great. I took everybody's shifts. I worked every day. I'd work from open to close, but I was replacing work with more work. And that kind of followed me throughout my life. So when I moved to New York, I got this job designing jewelry. Great job. I loved it, and I did it for a couple of years until that job was no more. Ended up getting fired from that job. All the while knowing that, the assistance you get after you lose a job, that's gonna run out after a while. And I still have to pay my rent. So I would just be in this rut. I was drinking and coping and eating, and those can become some dangerous days. And one of my best friends from Florida, he was like, bro, just go to the gym. Just try going to the gym because you're starting to look a little pudgy. Just get your mind off of things. So I started walking to the gym, Planet Fitness. Day one, walking in there, they had the pizza party going on, and I was broke at the time. And because they were giving out free pizza, I think it was like once a week or once a month, I was there on pizza day, and I would take home enough pizza to last for like a week. Pizza doesn't last for a week, but hey, I would eat as much as I could there and bring boxes home. So I was like, all right, Planet Fitness it is. It's only $10 a month. I can do this. And I just started working out and started to kind of enjoy it, and when I get into something, I want to do it right. So I started just YouTubing different people at the time. There was Chris Jones, the Hodge twins, Kelly Burke, the Iron Assassin. This was like old school workout YouTube. Watching these guys and really learning the techniques and how to actually train. They were actually going on stage and doing shows, and in the back of my mind, I was like, I'll never do that. But once that bug hits, I started to get good at it. I started to see the difference in my body and the way I felt throughout the day. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do my first show. COVID hit 2020, kind of stopped the world. I got into meal prepping, and that was something that I did just to save money. I was meal prepping like pork chops and spaghetti. It wasn't anything too glamorous, but I would shoot those shots and put them on my page and actually study other creators that I liked at the time. I would look at their layouts and the things they did with lighting, and I would try to recreate that in my apartment. I started to invest in what I really wanted. I got some lights, bought a camera. I just tried to stay around what I wanted to do. The videos weren't the best quality, but I tried. I did a YouTube channel and I tried. And at the end of the day, trying is what's gonna get you there. Through my first bodybuilding competition, I hired this coach, Brett Freeman. He goes by Bathtub on Instagram, BAFTUB. I saw his physique and I was like, all right, dude, make me look like you. I'm about to go on stage. And the first day, he was like, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna set you up with a meal plan, like what you're gonna eat every day. And I'm like, meal plan? I remember 5 weeks into the training, I was thinking like, yo, this is not working. I've been eating tons and tons of broccoli, tilapia. And week 6, I looked in the mirror and my body was just sculpted. I could see every muscle. I could see definition. I started to see veins and cuts. And I was like, yo, this dude might be on to something. I started out making blends in the blender, and there's videos where you'll just see my hand in the video. Because at the time I was like, I didn't want to put my face on Instagram looking how I looked, because I looked very quarantined. Let's just put it like that. And I would just put my hand over and I would just make these videos. Scroll down my timeline, you can see them. And one day I just stopped caring and I just got in front of the camera and I told a story. I think I was meal prepping and I just did a voiceover, and the videos just started taking off from there, just showing my personality, showing that I'm a real person. It's not just a hand. Like, look, this is my face. And I just continued to make videos, continued to like push. And I started seeing like little trends on Instagram where people would make kind of the same thing. Everybody's making this kind of juice, or everybody's doing that kind of juice. So I would dip into those waves, but I would also go in another direction and make something unique. I made the juicing video on TikTok, put it on Instagram, and you could just watch. I just woke up one morning and my phone was buzzing, dinging, ticking, to the point where it was just a constant buzz. It was just a buzz, and then my phone died. And I opened it up, I'm thinking like, what happened? Like, did another what happened? And it was just the videos going crazy. And I still do this now because I cannot believe it. When I open my Instagram, it would say 100 notifications, 100 likes, 100 new followers. And I would screenshot those things because I couldn't believe that this was happening. When I see people tag other people and they say, hey, at such and such and such, we should make this weekend. That makes me feel really good. It's not common to go pro on your first bodybuilding competition. I trained for about 16 weeks for my first competition, and that was grueling, especially during peak week where you're trying to get as ripped as possible. I followed all of what my coach was telling me to do, getting enough sleep, eating, and I felt like a different person. You know, my body felt like a machine. I wasn't fatigued all the time, and I just felt good. You know, I was getting up early and doing 2-a-days. I do my cardio in the morning and I lift at night. I do my posing classes on the weekends, and then I would do my poses every morning for Brett. I would get up in the morning, practice my poses, take some pictures and video, and send them out to Brett, and he would critique me throughout the whole process. I never had a coach before. I never did organized sports or anything like that, so being able to go to somebody and tell them, like, look, this is what's going on. And I woke up the next morning and I just called him and I was on the phone just like bawling. I just mentally wasn't there, and I just pigged out one night. I just went and got McDonald's and Subway, and I just was like going. I'm a Taco Bell guy at heart, so I was just eating gorditas and it was wild. And he let me know, like, look, one day isn't gonna make or break you. You know, you're putting in the work, you're doing what you gotta do, and everything will work out. That's when it clicked that he was more than a coach. He was kind of like a mentor, kind of guiding me through this process. I'm about to go on stage, and some of my best friends came up from Atlanta, had some friends from Brooklyn come. You know, I got on stage and I was ready to go. I hit all my poses and everything felt good. Finally, when I got to call outs, I made it to second call outs, and then I got on the it was the final showdown, and I won. And I was like, wow. Not only did I win, you know, I ended up going pro on my first bodybuilding competition, and it changed everything. I looked at nutrition different. I looked at the things I consumed in a different way. I looked at life different, and I started to, after that is when I actually went and got my NASM nutrition specialist certification. That was another big milestone, because the nutrition is what really changed it. What changed me, what saved me from a dark time is that gym when I wasn't working, and brought me out of serious depression. You have to stay focused on your goals, reminded of your goals. Your goal shouldn't be to get X amount of followers. Your goal should be to perfect everything that you do, to make sure that each brick is laid correctly in order to build this wall of success. When it comes to comparison, don't compare in a light that yours is bad and theirs is good. Theirs is just different than yours. And if you stay in that lane, you won't beat yourself up with the algorithm showing you the type of content you make. And some of the guys that are in the game and have complete teams of lighting and cameramen and editors, and they're able to put out things at a much higher clip than you, but you don't know that because you're in your apartment by yourself trying to make a podcast. It doesn't sound like your favorite creator's podcast. Comparison is great, but just understand that what they're doing is different from yours. It's not better, it's different. If you can keep that mindset, you'll stay in the game. And that's pretty much what this is about. Stick with it, be intentional. Not every day is the super best creative day. What you did today is the best you could possibly do today. And tomorrow, hey, you might have more energy and knock out 10 reels. But if you could only think about the reels you want to make today, it's just fine, because that's the best you could have done today.